I'm going to play on Redshift LE, and today's build I'm going to go for Pigs Mech versus Terran. The description: it's pretty straightforward mech build with many details that can improve your play. Notes: hitting a crisp hellbat cyclone timing is key, as that's your first real pressure. I tend to use a non-cloak Banshee with it as a bit of bonus damage and of course to keep me safe against rushes. However, if you prefer two Banshees and cloak, or a Liberator, or even a Raven, any of those can work also. Scan their hive timing, make sure you have 4-8 Vikings ready when Vipers are out, and that you spread your tanks way more at this stage onwards. Recycle medevacs from Thor drops to elevate Hellions Hellbats into the main base. Counterattack the far out expansions with Hellions and the occasional Liberator also. Key order: Banshee, 2 Cyclones, +1 weapons, 2nd plus 3rd factory, swap onto the barracks and Starport Tech Labs. Racks and Starport swap off and build reactors. 2 Thors and 2 medevacs, 2nd armory and 4 factory. On Racks reactor, 3-4 more factories with Tech Labs. So interesting. That's the key order. Swap into the barracks and Starport Tech Labs. So I bet the factory should be swapped into the Tech Lab so that you could get more tanks out of them. I guess, because that's the main thing. Tanks and Thors can be constructed using the Tech Labs. In any case, let's go there to that build now. Okay.
Not enough minerals.
Now, two SUVs and a supply depot needs to be done.
Yeah, whatever. We hear you.
And that's it. So after that, 2 additional SUVs and the barracks.
What's going on?
Differently from the last one, there were no need for the 3rd SUV. In any case, here we're going to have 3 SUVs and an orbital command later. Here 2 SUVs can go into the refinery. Okay, so far so good. The SUV should finish at a similar timing as the barracks do. And I'm going for orbital command and another supply depot, exactly. Also, more SUVs will need to be dropped. A marine needs to be done here.
Command center upgrade complete.
Here 2 SUVs.
Not enough.
Okay, the barracks reactor later. Oh, look at that. It wants me to build a starport already. It looks like I missed the factory right here. I wonder, did I miss the command center also? It looks like I missed the command center too. So Now I'm going to try and
It's your dime. Ah, you scared me.
kind of
I'm going. Yo.
get into it. Then the refinery, another building that I missed. That's quite a few buildings already. So also going to order a few SCVs here, and
SCV ready.
I need to go for that barracks reactor, so it can be built right here. As you can see, it nicely fits in between those two,
SCV ready.
which is really cool. I'm adding the command center to the Q button, and it's time to drop a bunch of mules and send 2 workers here. Okay, here we need the tech lab, and I think this is where we can continue. So the reactor is done.
Complete.
I do need to build myself a starport here
Add-on complete.
and another orbital command there. Also, I'm going to queue up a few workers on this side. 2 Hellions need to go down, orbital commands there, but Barracks Tech Lab will probably stand for the Factory Tech Lab, and Factory Tech Lab has already been done here.
Command center upgrade complete.
The starport goes to number 3, the Tech Lab goes to number 3 also. The starport will be more important, so that's than the Tech Lab, so it's fine. If I click on 3, I'll get to build units rather than anything else.
In the rear with the gear.
Okay,
SCV ready.
starport looks really cool. The next thing I'm doing is I'm building myself a supply depot and a Viking, 2 Hellions, and a Banshee. It looks like in order for me to build a Banshee, I need a tech lab. So the next thing I'm going to do there is I'm gonna go and build myself a tech lab then.
Ready to raise some hell.
Furthermore, here I'm going to
Research complete.
drop the mules and queue up many workers. Then I should send a waypoint here
Ready to raise
to
SCV ready.
the rest of my army
Yes, sir.
and build myself that tech lab so that I could start the Banshee.
SCV ready.
Also, let's see, here I'm gonna build these 2 early, the refineries, and wow, look at that, it looks like we are about to engage. So as you can see, the Viking can nicely go down between a few units. And that's the ground unit and air unit. So what do we have here? Gatling cannon. So the Gatling gun, damage 12, weapon speed 0.71, and targets ground units, while the marine targets air and ground units. That's what I currently have, and that's it. Obviously Viking is necessary for air defense in this case while going mech. In any case, I'm finally able to build mech, and I need supply depots down here.
In the rear with the gear. Go ahead.
Alright, next. I'm building the command center. And I'm going to order many SCVs to go here. The timer can continue, and now I need to go for two cyclones
Mineral field
and an armory. Okay, just gonna build it here,
SCV ready.
and I may as well lower these down. I never built anything here, as you can see.
SCV
I
ready.
find it a kind of a sort of a later game base, because taking out enemy
depleted.
SCV ready.
in these kind of conditions would be easy, as well for the enemy to take out me it would be relatively easy. In any case, here's the two refineries that I need to do, and
Bad news.
I'm just going to do them now. Also, I will be dropping more mills. Then
Cyclone ready for action.
I have to build two more Hellions and two factories. Okay,
You scared me.
here I'm going to build
Yeah, whatever.
the factories.
In the rear with the gear. Ready to raise some hell.
And a starport reactor. Well, obviously it never really gave me an order to build a second starport, right? Unless I obviously missed it. So let's see. It asked me for starport reactor. So how many starports I was ordered to build? That's one. And that's 0. Now, it may be only one sentence regarding starport and deck lab or reactor. However, it did ask me to build a Banshee. A Banshee naturally requires a starport, so I couldn't really go without building the tech lab on the starport, while later, without asking me to build another starport,
Mineral
it
field depleted.
asked me to build a starport reactor, which isn't good. Then again, it asked me to build barracks reactor, which isn't good also. So what I'm going to do here, I'm gonna build one reactor for
Better be good.
Loud and clear. Engaging.
Transformation systems primed.
Mineral field depleted.
You got coordinates or what? Made for battle.
one reactor for the factory, and another reactor for the factory too. So what happened there, it kind of was sent to the desktop solely because I clicked on Alt Tab and I wanted to check if that would work, and it seems that Alt Tab would just kick me out of the game. It's one of those Windows commands, I did turn off Windows key by simply typing in a few lines of code using Windows functions. So if I click on it, it doesn't work, and I can't really get rid of things like CTRL escape, which would take me back, or Alt tab, which would take me back, or Alt F4, which would ask me to go back into the desktop screen. So it seems that I just have to live with it. So here I'm gonna go for another reactor. The factor is I'll just interpret Starcraft reactor and Barracks reactor as factory reactor. In any case, here we need to go for an orbital command, and
Man in the rear with the gear.
that's it.
We hear you.
So 2 factories are done, the reactors are done, turn vehicle upgrades should start taking place.
Add-on complete. Command center upgrade complete.
Done.
Mineral field depleted.
They have been constructed. Look at that, my opponent just simply walked into my base just like that. He could have done that with his army, you know, that easily. So the minimap must be watched, or at least units must be kind of left here and there consistently. And that's that.
Vespine geyser exhausted.
So furthermore, I need to go for a bunch of Thor, so that's 2 Thors, and then 2 medevacs and additional 2 refineries here.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, here an opponent is going to attack us, and well, just try to repel them. Done. We've successfully managed to defend ourselves during this attack. And that's it. Also, I'm going to
Upgrade complete.
build myself another base right here, so that I could get all those workers from my initial 3 bases. Alright, our army has become much bigger now, and I wonder where those Thors finished. It looks like at least one of the Thors were in fact done.
No problem.
Yeah, he's probably Austrian.
Daylight's burning. Been waiting on you.
So I'm going to separate my forces into 2 groups now, and
Mineral field depleted.
the first group will go as V, and the second group will go as B.
Exhausted.
This better be by the number. Got no patience for sitting around.
Wow, that would be very complicated. In any case,
Who wants some? You gonna give me orders?
oh, look at that.
This better be good. By the numbers, boy. Ready to roll out.
Now I have two separate groups completely.
Got it. Who wants some? Armed and been waiting on you.
Okay, this guy can go here also.
Armed and ready.
And that's it.
Speak up. Who wants some?
Now from here I'm going to send workers to do their job in the fourth base. And even then it's completely maxed out. I have 76 workers or so. 52 workers. So this, if I hover over that, it will give me a nice understanding on